So a little bit of a test, first and foremost. I'm going to try using an AirPod, just because my microphones haven't got a lot of charging them. And I have found them, which is good. So if you can hear me, let me know in the comments. Just do a couple of alterations. Right. I'm giving a thumbs up by a local so that they can hear me. So that's good. Hang on. Wife, turn it off. Thank you. So I'll get massive feedback otherwise. So I'm going to do a little walk around the park in our village. Show you the school that I'm always talking about, but never actually show you, because I always forget. And then we'll go for a wander around the village. So very, very common in Russia, memorial parks. At least that's what I call them. Very, very common in little villages, in the towns, even in tiny little hamlets. You'll see a memorial to the dead, to the what I call the Great War, I suppose, Second World War. But generally, memorial to the men and women of the armed forces. So this is where we have a lot of events here, especially in the summer, not so much in the winter, apart from Christmas time maybe, but in the winter it's pretty closed down. But in the summer, there's all sorts of concerts and events going on here. So I just thought we'd start the walk from here, just to show you this is literally the centre of our village. So got the kids' park recreation there. We've got the standard and traditional gym section over there, which is normal in Russia. Outdoor gym equipment, kids' playground, and then the memorial park, which is here. So we're off now and show you the school that's being renovated at the moment. Just from the outside, just have a little wander around the outside of it. And what they're doing, there's two big schools in our village. And as I've said before, what they're doing is they've closed one partially now. They've reopened part of it for renovation. And they're busing the children to the next village to go to school there. And once that's complete, once the renovation works are complete, they'll reopen it and then they'll close the other school, which I've shown a few times. And that is on a huge piece of land. And from what I understand, the plan is to build a huge school there. But it's on a massive piece of land and there's probably half a dozen different buildings. So we're going to just level it and build a brand new school, which will be, as I say, sizable. So, but then our village is growing. You know, there are lots of housing developments. I won't really pick the best place to cross. Sometimes you just got to take your life in your hands and go. And so, local post office. I was in there only a few days ago collecting my police check. has come from the UK via a very, very, very good friend of mine, and I owe an awful lot to. So, Derek, if you're watching, once again, thank you's not enough. And also a big shout out to Lee back in the UK for organising it for me. So you'll see more details about that in a later video regarding temporary residency if you're looking to move to Russia. I've already done part one, which is talking about the documents that you're going to need if you're coming from the UK. Part two will be a bit more about the process and a good place to stay, believe it or not. As always, my videos will comment about my own experience in my region, not across Russia. So my temporary residency permit application will be based on Krasnodarsky Krai. So the videos will be operating from that immigration centre. Cool, but vehicle. And as I say, at the moment, they're picking the kids up from the back of the school because the vast majority of it is closed whilst they renovate. So, Brian, good morning. Morning, it is morning. Check it's morning. No, well, it might have been when you posted. Technically, it's afternoon for me now. 4 minutes past 12 noon. Why every park in Russia looks the same or close to the same? Is it traditional or what? I like them picturesque. So no, they don't all look the same. I think I've shown a lot in my area, or several in my area that are memorial parks. But yeah, once you travel out, there's all sorts of lovely parks, which I've yet to go and film from. But certainly a memorial to the dead, to the people that fought for this country, is commonplace. And I think if the West had an understanding of that, it might help relations an awful lot. Okay, nice to see you. Go. Thank you to all Russians for standing up for Christians in Ukraine. Getting moaned at because I didn't say hello to our daughter. Didn't see her. Too busy watching the screen. Fit right in with these kids at the moment. So, as I say, as you've just seen, in the buses, waiting to bus the kids off to the next village, including our daughter. Jägermeister. So here we go. You seem pleasant on YouTube, but in Sam's Telegram, you are so nasty to his community. What gives? Okay, well, that's an interesting perspective. And I'll answer it. So in Sam's Telegram, I moderate the channel. And it's a very, very simple rule. Be respectful to others. It's the only rule that's really in that Telegram channel. That and, don't go posting links to all sorts of weird and wonderfuls. Nobody's really interested. But I've been tasked with Yeah, keeping it straight. No nonsense. Nobody coming in shouting their mouth off, swearing, being abusive to other people. Um, and some people may not necessarily think their comment is abusive, but it can lead to other things. There was a case recently where somebody decided they wanted to comment about MILF, MILF. Now, it's just a derogatory term that's not acceptable in a chat room that's got a lot of ladies in it, as far as I'm concerned. So if that's what you're referring to, stand by that decision. More than happy. But in the defence of the way I run that Telegram channel or the way I moderate it, when I took over moderation about 3 months ago, there were 92 members, and it was a slagging match, constant slagging match. Vile, to be honest. Most people probably popped in and came straight out because there were a hardcore of individuals that thought it was their lounge and were swearing constantly and just being generally abusive. So it needed cleaning up. So that got knocked on the head. And now there's 340 members nearly. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Unfortunately, Connie, sorry you don't agree with what I moderate, but that's life. Brian, Jägermeister, he's friendly. Just needs to keep people in check since those followers. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so yeah, I was flaming that Swedish dude. That's uh, again being disrespectful. I didn't actually moderate him, to be honest. All of that chat was moderated by the owner of the channel, so it was all deleted by the owner of the channel because it just went way off topic. And we don't tolerate people that just come into the chat and talk a lot of rubbish. By all means say this is my experience, but don't come in and say this is what is happening. And that's basically what he was doing. The guy was saying that the immigration policy for Russia is based on um, nothing other than whether the immigration officer got out the right side of the bedroom, which of course is just nonsense. But he just wouldn't have it. He wouldn't rephrase it. So that's what happened. All the guy wanted to do was stir up trouble. And yeah, he did that for a bit. He copped a bullet. So, never mind. Okay. There was a difference in opinion about the need for a lawyer for migration. You abuse this one guy for having a different opinion than you. Okay, Jägermeister, well, you've made your point. If that is a point, that's what you think. Nobody else has said that. So clearly that's your perception. And to be honest, how can I put this? I don't care. I'm here to do a job, and that's what I do. And sometimes it's going to upset people. But you know what I say? You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. I like omelette. But feel free to leave the channel if you're not happy with myself or the way it's being moderated. Feel free to take it up with Sam. But as is the case with everybody, you have the option just to scroll on by. I'm sorry it doesn't suit you. Brian, you've been righteous. I don't see a problem, not going to lie. There's a moderator in Plastic Russians channel who's way more hardcore than him. I'm here for Sam, not for you, bro. Well, Jägermeister, you're in my live stream. This isn't Sam's live stream. So you're not really, are you? Don't think bro either. It's a child talk, isn't it? Calling me fam next. Anyhow, back on, mate. Enjoy your day. So, back to where I was. We're having a wander. Hope the audio is not too windy because it is a bit windy today. But again, Russian village life. They've been in there a while. Maybe not as long as you think, though. House under construction. Yeah, another one. Read it. Window. Interesting. Another big plot of land. Well, as I've said in previous live streams, there's lots of little plots of land and houses for sale around our village. But once they're gone because the administration has now put a stop to any further development beyond the current size of the village, so it won't be extended. He is, isn't he? His ears are nearly as big as he is. Hey, doggy. There you go. Look, you've got the old and the brand new one. Shakti, where is this, please? So this is a little village outside of Anapa, close to the sea. So you put in the Google Maps ANAPA. We'll get Napa. It's Anapa, not Anapa. It's 60 miles from Crimea, just along the coast. 15 minutes outside. We're the nearest village to Napa. And it's nice and peaceful. This is why we like it. I'm not a city boy. I don't like being in the city and hustle and bustle. I like to visit the city. I don't want to live there. But we're all different. You know, some people absolutely love city life, love living in an apartment. It's just not for me, not for us. We like a little bit more rural. The garden, quite important. Well, it is for us anyway. Nice looking house there. We'll carry on wandering down there and then we'll cut up that way across the main road, get to the other side. Brian, you're more crackling because of bad connection than weather. You'll find it here. Oh, okay. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I'm trying out an AirPod today as opposed to microphones, mainly because I haven't got much power in the microphones. But if the audio gets terrible, I'll switch to microphones. I'm out with my balloon today. Wife, I call her my balloon because she just trots along behind me, looking at stuff that she wants to look at, looking at me, thinking, idiot. And yeah, just generally enjoying the nice weather. It's about 12 degrees here today. 12 degrees, Tony? About that? 15, but feels like 13. Nice class. Look at that. It's quite nice, isn't it? For sale. You fancy buying it? There you go. Free advert. Yeah, it's quite nice, that. Brian, so many big houses. Yes. Uh, that was one of the things that sort of starting to hear about village life. There are a lot of big houses, but equally, Brian, there are a lot of small, tiny, tiny, tiny houses from from yesteryear. I hate using all the cliches now. It bugs me now. So just say from olden days. But yeah, it's a real mix. I'm not going to use the word eclectic. I promise I'm not going to say eclectic, not even once. Well, we use that word eclectic. Please. There's a nice new one. Well, say new. Yeah, 3 or 4 years old, but you know what I mean. Big gates and big fences very common in Russia. Doesn't mean that people are unfriendly. It's just normal. Um, Multitude of reasons I've been given. One, it dates back to a time where Russia may not have been as secure as it is now. Crime may have been a problem. Um, but also, Russians are private people. They're not they're not peering over your fence all the time or getting up in your business, which is really nice. If you want to be private, you want to be private. Equally, if you want to talk to them, they talk to you. I'll help you. Be me. I mean, I kind of understand. Just try to show a little kindness, Chris. We're a community in South Shannon, not a dictatorship. Yep, absolutely. It's not a dictatorship. That's why I don't just delete people who disagree with me. I'll have a conversation with them. As soon as they start getting abusive or unfriendly, then yeah, they'll get the bullet because that's the way the community is. It's a friendly community. We don't need people being obnoxious and rude. So take on board the comments. Thank you. But you see, you can say I always get it right. I'm suggesting a minute. So we'll take on board your comments. Yeah, Brian. Enable notifications. You'll see nonsense that's moderated constantly. Yeah, I mean, we as the admin team, we have a few extras, obviously, that you guys don't have. And one of them is recent actions, and we can click on that, and it will show anything that's happened on the channel. So quite often you'll find somebody will say something which we will then disagree with or moderate, and they'll edit it. And unbeknownst to you guys, we can still see that. So we can see the version that's been edited. So that's a common thing. People think they're clever. It don't work. So quite often you might see something that's moderated and think, oh, that's harsh, but you may not have seen the backstory. Equally, you may not necessarily know whether we've been privately messaging a particular individual. So don't always judge stuff on what you see. Quite often there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. But anyhow, let's move on. Sam's channel is doing great. But I do absolutely my damnedest to answer every comment. If I don't read out your comment, it isn't because I'm ignoring you, it's because I haven't seen it. So please bear in mind that YouTube does censorship on these lives as well. It's not just me. Um, so YouTube will actually, if for example, if you put in a reply and you put a link in that reply, I won't see it. It will just get deleted by YouTube from my view. It might not be from everybody's view, but certainly from mine. So I will never see anything that's got a link in it. There are certain keywords that just get deleted. They go to a folder sometimes, but generally they don't see. So if you made a comment and I haven't read it out, it is because I haven't seen it. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'll read it out. I will read everybody's comment because if you take the time to write it, the least I can do is take the time to read it. Oh, nice property there. So on that note, let's just catch up. I'm being tickled. Yes. Yeah, yeah. You sound like a Londoner. Must be very different living in Russia. Looks like my late father's village where he grew up in Hungary. Well, yeah, I'm actually not a Londoner myself, but my family is. So I was actually born in Devon, but my mum and dad are Londoners. Dad was what you call a proper Londoner, born within the sound of bow bells. So he was a proper Cockney. And I remember growing up as a kid with Cockney rhyming song, always rattling around the house. Oh, now my brain's gone, so I don't remember a lot of it. Probably why it's so difficult to learn Russian. Uh, are these houses built like American ones, where you can hit your fist in the wall and there's a hole, or is it made of bricks? Well, every house that I've come across is block, solid, so I wouldn't recommend hitting them. And I can say that quite confidently because we've seen an awful lot of developments since we've moved here. An awful lot of houses being built, and every one has been built in very similar style with big, what I would call breeze blocks in the UK. Yeah. Um, um, yeah, so big blocks, and then the pretty part, which is the bricks on the outside, that's put in separately. I might have to switch the microphones in a minute. Bulb, you see your pod. Thing. Hey, dog. Oh, he's tagged, look. So if there is a stray, um, local administration will tag them. So no, they've been, I don't know, or they've tested them, checked them, or whatever. Maybe somebody can let me know why they got a tag in their area. Uh, hello, Vigets. Tim, my German, wow, is very poor. My dad used to live in Germany, but when I was a kid, my teens, I've forgotten it all. But I'm good, thank you. Alles good. Germany loves Russia. Well, that's nice. Um, yeah, it's governments that cause problems generally, not people. And Russians are, I think, the world's best at understanding that. Because to be able to come to this country under its current situation and be welcomed and be treated the way I have been treated just shows Russians are a different breed to anybody else that I've ever met. Um, we're very open, genuine, honest. They don't take any nonsense, but equally, they won't judge you based on what your country, your geography. They won't judge you on your government's ideas. They won't judge you at all. If you're being a dick, they'll just tell you you're being a dick. And they won't worry about wokeness and protecting your feelings. They'll just straight up tell you you're being a dick. Which I love that. Great. So it's a great place to come if you're not going to be a dick. If you are going to be a dick, don't come here. Stay where you are in Dixville. That's a little rant then, didn't I? Oh, Beamy. But thank you for your service on Sam's Telegram. Anyhow, have a great stream. Thank you, Beamy. Hope so. Have you thought about getting a drone and fly over your town? Every time you stream, the environment is different. It would be so awesome to see it from a top perspective. No idea if it's allowed though. I honestly don't know if it's allowed. I mean, drones are for sale. I've seen them in the shops. So I assume it is, but I don't know. I've never actually thought about it. I'll tell you why. Um, I don't ever want to film anything that could be used by some horrible people, if you understand what I mean. I'm not going to start throwing stones, but I just don't want to be pointing a camera at stuff that somebody could use. So you know, I try and avoid administrative buildings, anything military, absolutely, and that kind of stuff. But with a drone, that's probably a lot more difficult. And also, they fire out GPS coordinates and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's just not my thing. I fancied having a drone once, and then I unfancied it quite quickly. Um, yeah, I know somebody that's got one in the UK. And he uses it for stalking deer, which is quite clever. He's a licensed culler, so uh, he keeps the deer population down in a particular area, or tries to. And he uses the drone to stalk the deer and find them. And also met somebody, best use of a drone ever, ever. When I went to buy my Mustang, I bought it off of a guy who had a roofing business. And he'd had the car 11 months and done 500 miles on it. So it was brand new. And obviously, my first question to him was, why are you selling it? He said, I don't get the time to use it. And I thought, yeah, standard answer. He said, no, I genuinely don't. Uh, a year ago, I ordered the car and blah, blah, blah. And then I came up with an idea, and that idea has just massively, massively blown up my business. And now I've got 6 teams going out. I think he said 5 or 6 teams going out, doing roofing, and I'm working 6.5 days a week. I was like, right, what have you done? And he said, well, I used to go and quote like everybody else by going around to somebody's house after they've rung me, getting a ladder out, going up on the roof, looking at the roof, and then shouting down to them what the problem was. And then I decided to take drone lessons. So this guy took drone lessons, got a drone, and then when he went out quoting, he used the drone. And so I've been successful. And he said, I get every single job I go for now. Not one. I don't lose a single one. And the reason being, I'm not up on a roof telling somebody and they're questioning it. I'm showing them while they stood next to me with the drone. And I can literally fly the drone and land it on the roof next to the hole in the roof or the cracked tiles or whatever the problem is. And they can see it in real time. And he said, and just that one simple thing has absolutely skyrocketed my business. So that's probably the best use of a drone I've ever seen. Oh, it's interesting down there. All right, honey. Wife's having a conversation with herself. She does that a lot. I think she just doesn't like talking to me. It's just a bit strange. Okay. Mm, yes, so Brian, regarding the drone as well, another point, you can just type it into Google. If you look for Anapa on Google, you can then just search around the areas and where the nearest village is. Easy to look then. So, let's have a look. We totally agree. Governance. It's not necessarily it's the right people implement. It's the people doing this. Just wanted to come up this muddy road and then we're probably double back. Just looks interesting. Look at these pillars. I'm from Lincolnshire. Okay. It's very agricultural, yes. There's no any Russians here. They've been here for 20 years now. So, okay, cool. Do you know what I love about Russians? Where there is trouble, all stick together. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And Russians, yeah, they won't just sit by and watch, an innocent being treated badly. They'll step in. There's a lot of English people who see a fight, and the first thing they'll do is get the camera out, start filming it. Do that in front of a big old Russian. Won't get his camera out. Mm. Anapa is quite close to the front lines. Not worse. Yeah, I mean, we're 60 miles from Crimea. So that way, honey, back the way we can. We just want to look at this new build with these fancy pillars. It's going to be a thing, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can't finish the house because it's all been spent on the fence. But yeah, no, that's probably going to be an interesting property. Again, you just see everything here is just different. Nobody think. Oh, oh, the pod in the mud. I definitely need to switch the microphone out in a minute, which I will do. But yeah, everything's different. Nobody seems to want to build a house the same as anyone else. First thing I want to do is build it completely different. Um, how's the oil cleanup going? Thanks for asking, Fox. Um, yeah, it's a difficult job, I think. Um, every day they're on it. Could they do more? Probably. Do they need more resource? Yes. You know, it's a big problem. Big, 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 big problem. And it's just from what I've read, it's a different kind of oil. It's not your normal, reasonably straightforward to deal with kind of oil. It's something different, which makes it much, much more difficult to deal with. Right, more new builds down there. Before we trundle off, I might just change out the microphones. Then we can get out the wind for a bit. Since I've become a cat person, dogs don't seem to like me. All right, doggy. My left toe is right. Hello, I don't often have time to watch live streams, but today I did. You probably answered already, but now you're selling your house. Do you mind if I ask where you're going to? Oh, we're staying local. Um, we're just not getting any younger, as the wife tells me. Um, in between bouts of you're old bastard, get up bastard, you're lazy bastard, go walking bastard, you know, that kind of thing. Um, um, so yeah, we're not getting any younger, and we just want to be on one level now. We're old people now, we're retirees, so we just want to be on one level. So we're staying local because we love the area, not in this particular area. Not a yapping dog there. But apart from that, look at that one. We built the house, moved in, and this again is a common theme. People build a house, move in, and then they'll do the garden as and when, including fences, driveways, and all sorts. So you sort of get a 90% finished property quite common. Mm, rugby thing, isn't it? Because you get that sometimes. You'll get just like 4 or 5 houses that are very, very old. I think it's probably the older mentality. They've just got a dog in the yard. So, yeah, you have to be prepared for that. You come to a rural setting, you have to expect a bit of ruralness. Andre, oh, nice to see you, Andre. Right, that looks interesting. This house going to swap their microphones out, don't I? Seem to have enough juice in the battery now. It's one charge. Look, right, bear with. I'm going to swap out mics. I think. Not sure the other side. Right, stick with this AirPod a little bit. Please let me know if it gets to a point where it sounds crap. Yeah, it's going to be up here. It's too windy. Right. Here we go. Yeah, I'll leave a little bit. Oh dear. Very disorganised as usual, but please bear with. Point out something interesting. That's something. I can unplug it actually. My lovely assistant. He says in a Paul Daniel style. He definitely. Oh, dear. Right, hold it tight, honey. Right, let's got that put in. Now. Oh, we're probably halfway house with a microphone at the moment, so I do apologise. Right, put that away now. Put that back in there. Right, hopefully it should be better eventually. Right. Oh, well, apologies for that. Technical interlude. I just wanted to go up here and show you these newer houses. Hi Chris. So Andre, good weather every time you stream. I'm jealous. We have snow till the nuts is cold as well. Yeah, we're lucky with the weather at the moment. We do have the odd day that's overcast and a bit there. We go and sit in the sauna when that happens, but today's not one of them. Paul went to St. Petersburg. Remember being told in the 70s that all Russian women look like shoppers, then seeing beautiful women, the best, cleanest underground in the world. Total lies. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much why I'm here, because it was just total lies what I'd been told, what I'd been fed all my life. I don't mean force fed, you know. It wasn't like I was in some sort of closed school where they rammed anti-Russian propaganda down my throat all the time. It was far more subliminal and underhand than that. The media, Hollywood, everything else. That's quite nice. Little gated community there. That group of 6 houses. That's nice. Yeah, and over a period of 50 odd years, you form an opinion, don't you, when all you're told is a certain aspect. That's kind of what you think. And then you come here and go, oh, that's not what I was told in any way, shape, or form. Well, another site just literally starting to be developed. Cleared enough space to get footings in. They build differently out here. So they build out of the ground, not into the ground. So they go in the ground a bit to get a concrete foundation, but nowhere near as deep as we do in the UK, for example. And then they build out, so they concrete out of the ground and raise the houses up out of the ground by a couple of feet, 2 or 3 feet. So a lot of properties have got steps to the front of them. Most have, to be honest. And it's for that reason, to get them out of the ground. I suppose you cure your damp problem straight away. And they're probably a lot more warmer, better insulated. Hello, fluffy cat. Sorry, pal. We've got 5. You're out of luck. You're not coming. No, honey. No, honey. Honey, no. Honey, no. Let me know if the audio's all right, please. Because I'm playing around with this damn microphone at the minute. You hold that a minute. Yes. Point it at the cat if you want. Oh, he's a lovely cat. Very friendly. Look at him. Hello, Pusscat. Purring away. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you've heard that our house is a cat sanctuary and you want to come and live there, but no. I only agreed to one. Then one became two. And I thought that was going to be it. And two turned into five. Yeah. Anyhow. Oh, look. Oh, I'll get to that clown in a minute. Yes, Paul. Yeah, I've heard that that thing as well. My left. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for telling us. Sure, no problem. I think we'll go back the other way because this is just going out to National Park now, which is up into the. You think you want to go up here? Okay. Joking. Hi, Paul. Most of the Russians I see look like the original Anglo-Saxons of these islands, and not like the recent last 50 years invasions. Oh, okay. Not educated enough on that topic to comment. Right, these two dogs, tiny little yappy dogs, are having a duel. That one obviously has got a turbo wired up to its mouth. And that one's a little less behind in the race. It's quite a pretty property. Nice little place. But yeah, they obviously don't like strangers, do they? Right, who's this Muppet? Audrey, is that Audrey? Audrey Meadows, look at you, I'm shouting, I'm writing in big capital letters to show my point and my disappointment. Oh dear. You are a puppet for Putin. Oh God. Aubrey, go and educate yourself, you Muppet. Dear, oh dear. No, Paul, sorry, you nearly got wiped out then. Let's keep still long enough so I can get rid of this clown. And gone. There we go. Brian. Hey, how do you manage daily life in Russia? You don't speak Russian much, right? Do you just bring the translator on your phone with you, or the wife? I still must watch many of your videos. Yes, you must, Brian. It's an absolute must. That one's for sale. How do I manage daily life? Really easy. I mean, for a start, I don't know how I had the time to work. So being retired, I really don't know how I had the time to work. What are you doing? Dear, oh dear. Yeah, but as for translating, yeah, obviously my wife speaks English, our daughter speaks English, and the translator. So that's how pretty much daily life, how I get around it, how I get by. Yeah, so this is a road to nowhere. This goes up into the national park now. Past that lorry, it's dead end. So back we go. But there's another new build. Absolutely everywhere. Been curious since you seem to be doing fine. Got a new car, house, all that. So the Russian locals must know some good level of English and all that. Yes and no. I mean, you'll always get surprised. You know, people, and I'll tell you what I have noticed: a lot of Russians don't use their English. You know, maybe they're a little shy, maybe they're a little embarrassed. I've certainly found that out a few times. Where, you know, I use this story. I conversed with a petrol pump attendant. He came out and he spoke to me. I was talking to our daughter who was sitting in the back of the car, and he obviously overheard me speaking English. And then he spoke to me in fluent English, which completely shocked me. But he was really reluctant to speak English and not for any reason other than he just, he said, "Oh, I don't get the chance to use the language, so I don't think I speak very well." It's like, you speak incredibly well. That was a petrol pump attendant, So, I'm not in the city of Moscow. Oh, I'm going to run through the dueling doggies. Now, I am an animal lover, but that particular yap, where it's just a little yappy thing that, I can't be doing with it. If it's a dog, at least be a dog. Have a proper bark. Anyhow. But yeah, I managed fine, Brian. I have a very peaceful life. My left toe is my right. Russian suburbs look very laid back and rural. Well, we are in a very rural area. So yeah, we're in a very small village. Where I live, developers move in, tar up roads everywhere, then build duplexes and football fields. Yeah, I mean, that's what has been happening in our village. There's been developments popping up everywhere, and that's why I think the local administration has taken action to say no more. So the only development you're going to see now is on existing plots, and yeah, I mean, it's great for the village. It keeps it as a village and doesn't turn it into an overgrown town. Because let's face it, that's what happens, isn't it? The developers get a sniff of money and they start bolting on fields on the side of a village, and pretty soon the village is lost and it's just a series of developments linking into another series of developments, which ends up linking to the next town, and the old identity is gone. But they've made sure that's not going to happen, so you're still always going to have this as a village. Its boundary is its boundary. It won't get any bigger, but it will get developed inside. So, case in point, see that one over there? Look, you see the roof being built. We go that way and have a look. Yeah, so you'll get the old stuff, and gradually that will get pulled down, and new stuff will be built in its place. But it will still be the village. The other good thing about that, if you're a homeowner, you want to be, prices. It's not good, I suppose, for the youngsters wanting to get on the ladder, but it does mean that prices are going to increase, and certainly in this village, that's the case. Our land, when we bought it, was 250,000 rubles per 100 square meters. It's now 750,000 rubles per 100 square meters. So it's tripled, just the land. That's a nice little development. Obviously still under construction to a degree, still being built. The gate's just tied together with a bit of string. I'm sure they get electrified at some point. But that's nice. Nicely done. Big piece of land on the back of this. Look, you've got a very, very old building with a massive piece of land. 2,000 square meters on the back of that easily. Joking. When are you moving to your new house? Probably when we sold our existing one, mate. That being flippant. There's not quite enough money in the piggy bank to go and buy another house without selling our one. Nearly, not quite. Probably could have if I hadn't bought a car. But I love the car. It's absolutely epic. I'll stand by that decision. I'm a bloke and we buy cars. That's what we do. Sorry, ladies. We're idiots. We like magpies. We see something shiny and go, woo, shiny. Must have. Let's go that way. Yeah? All right, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Comos, it does look laid back. So much space too. I want to move to Moscow suburb. Yeah, I mean, I get it if you're in the West. If you don't know anything about Russia, sorry, if all you know about Russia is what you've heard from Western media, etc., then even if you have made the choice that you want to move to Russia, you're probably going to go, I'm going to move to Moscow, because that's all you really know. But there's a lot more to Russia than Moscow. And as I've said before, you ask anybody in the West to talk about Russia, and they're just going to say Moscow or St. Petersburg if you're lucky. They're certainly not going to know about Anapa. They're not going to know about the wine regions. So, yeah, that's the purpose of my channel. You're going to get to see a part of Russia that I don't think any other YouTuber is going to show you. Might be wrong. But all the current crop of YouTubers that I see are in Moscow region, pretty much. They're all running around Red Square, showing you another version of the video that they did yesterday, which is another version of the video that somebody else did the day before. I'm a lunatic. I'm in Moscow. This is Red Square. Really? I haven't seen that for the 1000th time. Nothing against Red Square. I haven't been there personally, but I feel like I have. Most YouTubers film it. Yeah, as I say, the purpose of my channel is to try and show you something different. Warts and all, the good, the bad and the ugly, as I say. And the more rural I can get, I think the more honest and genuine it becomes. Hence the reason I don't edit. What you see is what you get. It's raw, it's very raw, rough and basic. I turn the old camera on, wander about a bit, turn it off. So it's not all fancy editing and made to look a certain way. It's not a movie set. It is what it is. We like this property, it's quite nice. So what we call it's got a nice project, and by that it means the original design and the layout inside is quite nice. They call it a project. So if you're looking to buy a house, they'll talk about the project of the property quite a lot, and that's just the floor plan of the entire property. It shows you the cadastre value, which is the size of the property as registered with the local administration, and it will show you the floor plan, how big the bedrooms are, where they are, that kind of thing. And that particular property, I think it's about 130 something square meters, and it's just a nice layout. Another big piece of land. But yes, Comos, very laid back, but that's village life. Jesse Nelson, W. Putin. Okay. Fox, just as well you do plenty of walking. The week of pancakes is almost upon you. I think it's called Maslenitsa. Maslenitsa? Yeah, pancake week. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right there, my friend. I'm going to get fat. Lewis, morning from West Sussex. You still got snow there? My mate sent me a video a couple of days ago. East Sussex, admittedly, but that's where I hail from. And yeah, you had snow. Looks exactly like Serbia. Okay, I'll have to take your word on it. Never been to Serbia. Again, top of this road, honey, is the vineyard. So should we just carry on that way? Yes. I did want to show the roof of that house, but I can't see it now. Never mind. Just the roof of an house. Fox Brian, I speak no Russian and had to approach approximately 6 locals in a nearby Novorossiysk supermarket before I found one that could understand conversational English. Yeah, but that's still not a bad effort considering you're in Russia under the current situation. But yeah, I get what you mean. You know, poor Phil, poor Phil, poor Phil, poor Phil. He's made his flag statement. And the chicken didn't think much of it. Never mind, Phil. I mean, genuinely, I hope one day you actually do a bit of backfill. A lot of people have, but a lot of people are still delusional. A lot of people have done a bit of research, taken their flags down. Ooh. Well, definitely wouldn't want to live up this particular area because there's a lot of doggies shouting and screaming, as you can hear. So, you know, if you're going to move to a rural area, it's important that you research the area, have a little look around. You might not want to live next door to that. I think Russians are like dog deaf. I don't think they hear it. Oh, he's on a chain, that one. He's a proper guard dog. He's a proper guard dog, that one. That's all right. It's a proper dog with a proper bark, and it's not sitting there yapping. Right. Big piece of land already fenced in, and you can see just hopefully just there coming out of the ground. You've got a little blue thing. That's a well. So that's the water for the property. And the electric will be taken from the post outside when it's built. So I don't know if it's land for sale or land that's been cleared, ready for building, or a bit of both. That one's a new build. And that one, I won't say it's a new build, but it's a build. May not necessarily be that new. Anyway, where's Phil? Poor old Phil. Lewis, we have snow. Cool. We haven't got any snow here. We had a little dusting of snow a couple of weeks ago, where some things went white for about half a day. But yeah, contrary to popular belief, we don't get much snow here. In fact, very little, because we're in southern Russia. Russia's a big place. I know everybody thinks it's snow bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart, but it's not. Absolutely not. And another build. Oh, a little cat. Some trees, load of timber. And that's another common thing. You will find building materials everywhere, side of the road. Somebody's building something, they'll just have all the materials delivered outside. And you'll find the equipment there. And the bricks and the timber and everything else, just at the side of the road. Would you see that in the UK? Of course you wouldn't. It'd be gone in 24 hours. The local do as you likeys will come along and take it, wouldn't they? Gone. Not here. Why is that, you might ask? Well, it's called respect. Something that we forget to teach anymore in the West. In case we offend somebody, maybe infringe on their rights. Remember my son, he took his driving test recently. I say recently, about a year ago. Maybe a bit longer than that even. Blimey, time flies. Anyhow, I was taking him out and driving with him. And I'm old, so I was talking about right of way. Oh, this car's coming towards us, he's got the right of way, so I'll move over. And he says, yeah, it's not called that anymore, Dad, you can't call it that. I said, what? He says, yeah, you can't call it right of way anymore, it's priority. You what? I said, yeah. So you can't call it a right of way anymore, it's they may have priority. Now, that's probably partly due to the woke nonsense, but it's also due to the insurers just permanently looking for a way to get out of paying. And if they note something as right of way, then it sets kind of a legal surround, doesn't it? If you call it priority, well, it's a bit ambiguous, isn't it? So, if you have an accident, you say, well, it's my right of way, it kind of nails it, doesn't it? If you say, well, I had priority, well, you had priority, doesn't mean that you should have gone, because now it's called priority, it should be a case that you proceed when safe to do so. Well, says you who's had the accident, it was safe to do so when I proceeded. Well, clearly it wasn't, sir. You had an accident. And that's the way the insurers work. Any way they can worm out something. So, yeah, there you go. Another rant. Another plastic Russian rant. Oh, Phil, he's still... I haven't got any more comments, so I may won't lost you guys for a bit. I do hope not. Got to get past all of these chickens. Little raptors. So we've gone from a doggy area to a chicken area. Chickens there, chickens over in here, more there, and a load here. But this is rural Russia. Hey, Chooks. He wants to make his point, doesn't he, that one? Shouting and screaming. Oh, I've lost the wife. Usually do that in shopping centres. Being a bloke, I'm always heading for the exit, aren't I? We don't do shopping, do we, guys? Devil's work, that is. Anyhow, Phil, we'll be looking at your silliness. I might leave you on there just to see if you've actually got anything intelligent to say. Let's leave you there for the time being. Have you got anything intelligent to say? Fox, southern Russia is the best place to live, in my opinion. There are large modern cities close to Anapa and lots of tourist villages. And one fancy, I've got to say, I'm going to agree with you. Even though my experience of Russia is very, very limited, but we love living in this rural area because you've got, old stuff all around you, which is really quaint and it's got character, and you've got new stuff being built everywhere, and it's just, yeah, you've got the dogs barking in certain areas and you've got chickens chickening in other areas, and then you get to an area like this and you've got tweets, birds in the trees. Don't worry, the next property I'll have a hoofing great hound to be barking at me, but no, it's just, if you move to a rural location, you've got to accept the wildlife, haven't you? Can't moan about it. It's the countryside's version of a car, isn't it? Noisy cars with a big stereo system that you get in the city. Inch, inch, inch. Out here you get chickens and dogs. And cows and goats. I've even seen a couple of llamas actually the other day. It was interesting. Just wandering around the side of the road. And camels. Yeah, if you don't believe me, have a look at one of my videos. Can't remember what it's called, so you'll have to have a look through them all. But it might have even been a short. I think I did a short. We're driving somewhere, going around the corner, and I'm not joking. There were a load of camels walking along the side of the road. Okay then. I said to the wife, "There's bloody camels here, darling." And she went, "It's Russia, baby." Yeah. Why not? You can tell you're in rural Russia because you find benches outside people's houses. Just to rest your weary legs for a while. Have a chat with a resident. Really common. That post box, how cool is that? I don't want to infringe on their privacy, but look at that. It's cool. Zachary, hi. Looks like a small central Texas town. Okay. Yeah, I mean, people often say, "Oh, it looks like so and so in America," and I've never been to America, so I'll only ever comment on stuff that I know about, I've seen with my own eyes, or it's a verified source. And unfortunately, I haven't been to America, so I can't really comment other than what I've seen on the interweb and what I've been told by friends. So I used to work for an American company that had large division in the UK and in Brazil. They were in Texas, they were in Houston, that's where they were based. Another new build for sale. 3 dogs outside, 1 on the inside making all the noise. Be shush now. Nobody's interested. Oh, Phil, you really disappointed me, Phil. Watch that idiot, honey. He was lucky. Any more of his nonsense trying to bite me, he'd have got my size 27 right up his arse. That's arse for any Russians that are watching. Cockney rhyming slang for you. Yeah, as I was saying, Phil, I really want you to engage, Phil, rather than just be pathetic and post 4 flags. Love talking to people. Can't be doing with people that just come along and type in capital letters like at me and my big political statement, or post pictures of a flag that they've changed in their social media bio. Can't be doing with that. Much rather you join my Telegram group and have a conversation. And by conversation, I mean a 2-way street where it's, you know, it's dialogue. We may not necessarily share opinions, but we'll talk about it. You're just going to come on and abuse and be a dick, you'll be gone. But if you do want to come on and have a chat and ask questions, I love that. More than happy. And if you need some help, more than happy to help. But I have very, very low pain threshold for idiots. In fact, that's not true. I have no pain threshold for idiots. Too old. Spent my life dealing with them. I recognise that bus stop. Sure, I've been here before. So somebody was saying what's public transport is like, and we're in rural Russia here, as I keep saying, out in the sticks, and it's really good. You can wait 10 minutes and there'll be a bus. So very, very good bus service out here, and it literally is pennies. It is so cheap. I can't even, you know, begin to tell you. It's just so cheap. Lewis, have you been to Sochi? Yes. Yeah. Again, have a look at the channel. Plug. But there's so many different videos on my channel, and that's what I'm trying to do. I don't just want to make the same content that everybody else does, and you know what I mean. And I'm not going to mention anybody in particular, but here's another supermarket video, or here's the Red Square again, or I'm an idiot walking around in Moscow. Yeah, I want to show something different. So yes, Lewis, I have been to Sochi. This way, honey. Did that dog bite you? Did that dog bite you? Oh. Yeah, it's we weren't there long. Didn't look say very big, but I don't know what I was expecting. But there was a nice centre, if that makes sense. The centre of Sochi was very pretty, very touristy, I suppose. Lots of nice restaurants, and the marina was very nice. Lots of big name brands around the marina, you know, giving an air of opulence. But yeah, very nice. And of course, if you want to know about Sochi, you need to tune into my pal's channel, Ven, VEN, and his channel is Ven Core, or at Redneck Ven, at RDNK VEN. And he's American expat living in Sochi. So his lives and his videos are all from the Sochi area. So please join his subscribers, have a look. He's got an awful lot of content on his channel. You can have a look at the Sochi area. Hello from us. Buenos Vicious Off-Roading. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just being silly. Hello from the US. Hi. Whereabouts? Or is it hello from us? Maybe it is hello from us. Lime. Why does Russia always feel so empty? There's never any people around outside. It's a working day. And you're in a village. A rural village. So this is where I got lost before, honey. Oh, see what I mean about a bus? There you go. 10 minutes, get a bus. Let's go this way. I think the yeah, I think the crematorium, the cemetery's this way. I think. I don't know. Probably not, is it? Probably going to end up on one of my epic walks again. Yeah, as I say, it's a working day. There's a little local bus. So most people are at work. And for this region, it's winter. It's winter everywhere, idiot. But for these people, this is cold. So most people are either in their banyas or they're huddled up indoors, eating a bit of borscht, some soup or something. It's only idiots like me that want to come out and film things. Now, apologies that it's not in landscape, it's in portrait, but these sort of live streams, when I want to try and interact with you guys, I want to try and answer your questions, I need to film in portrait so I can actually read your questions. So if I put it in landscape, the questions come up on half of the screen and they disappear, they don't stay on the screen, so I can't just glance down and read the next question. I have to tap and try and get it up. Ooh, misses. Didn't mean that, did I? I have to tap the screen to try to get the message to reveal. That sounds a bit better. Should have thought about that sentence, Chris. Yeah, I know where I am. What, here? Okay. It's an interesting house, look. Not entirely sure what it was trying to be. It's got airs of Rapunzel about it. Maybe a bit of Romeo and Juliet. Bolted onto the side of a boathouse. Russia, baby. Very eclectic. Down here you want to go, yeah? You want to go down here, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, good point. We're off the main road. Yeah, sorry, Lime. Hope I randomly sort of answered your question. But yeah, we were in the back edge of the village, so very quiet area anyway. Obviously, being in a rural village, it's quiet. Then go to the edge of that rural village, it's very quiet. Krimskaya. Another property in mid-build. Oh, we looked at buying a house here. Cats and dogs living side by side. Admittedly, the dog's like the dog in the Tom and Jerry cartoons on a big chain. But yeah, we actually looked at this house here. Well, when I say we looked at it, we looked at the 4 bits of wood hammered into the ground for the plot, and this property didn't exist because that was all what they call free land. So that wasn't part of the development. And somebody has obviously got that free land and built a house on it, which is now for sale, which is quite kind of contemporary looking. But yeah, we looked at that plot of land there for that house. But as you can see, an unmade road, and we wanted a tarmac road, so that's the reason we didn't go for it in the end. Bloody snobs. But an interesting development, and that house up the end there, it's got a huge carport, massive. A bit muddy here. Michael Purnell. Hi all, Michael from the UK. Hi Michael, how are you? Stephen Digby, watching while waiting for the NHS to call. Christ almighty, mate, I hope it's not serious. And by that I mean you'll have a long wait if you're waiting for the NHS to call. I think I waited 10 months for one phone call. Every couple of months I'd check up. Hi, I'm still here, still alive. I'm still waiting for the phone call. Yeah, thank you. Somebody will come back to you shortly. 10 months. Not bad, is it? Luckily it wasn't serious. It was only my leg hanging off. I needed surgery to have it reattached. You know, had it been something serious like a cold or bird flu, dangerous that is, bird flu. Yeah. Looks lovely. Yeah, Stephen, it is. I'm very hot, actually. I'm dressed for colder weather, which was a mistake, because now I'm cooked. Ian G. Do you ever receive unwanted interference or examination from the authorities? And are ordinary Russian people surprised over your residency? Thanks. Well, I haven't got residency, if I'm going to take it literally. I'm on a tourist visa. Well, not a tourist visa, I'm on a family visa. But I'm on a visa, same as everybody else, apart from the people with residency. No, simple answer. That's the easiest answer. No, never. Again, the stories I'm sure you've probably heard are just Western media rubbish. Russia has rules, follow the rules. It's an easy place to live. And the rules are very simple, very basic, not all convoluted. It's pretty straightforward, really. One of those rules is you come here on a visa and you register with a local authority, tell them your address, where you're staying. That's it. So we did that, haven't had any problems. I quite often find that you abide by the rules, you don't have any problems. It's only when you want to circumvent them. But yes, I mean, obviously I'm in a village location, so I've met several people that have actually said to me, I've never met an Englishman before. Like one of those chimps you see behind the bars, they poke them and see what happens. So yeah, they are. But equally, they, generally love it. It's like fantastic. And the first thing a Russian will ask you, really, maybe not so much in Moscow, but if you start conversing with a Russian and you say you're English and you live here, first thing they'll say is, "Oh wow, what do you think of Russia?" Not why are you here, who do you hate, what's terrible about your own country, or anything like that. First thing they say is, "What do you think of Russia?" Why? Because they're a proud people. And they care about their country. I'm generalising, Obviously, there are exceptions to any rule, but generally that's the attitude. Pension news. Good afternoon, sir. How are you all keeping? Where are you watching from? What's the weather like? Oh, there's another one. That one's definitely for sale. Says it multiple times on multiple phone numbers. So yeah, that's a for sale ad out here. Properties for sale. Got a big sticker with a phone number on it. Quite often you'll find them in the window of the property. That's quite grand, isn't it? Quite nice. Just nestled in between the two there. Look. A little bit stealthy. Irving, lovely to see you, sir. Good morning, Chris. 4:20. You are hardcore. You really are. Old person awake and watching your walkabout. The knee is slowly coming around. Great to see you. Awesome. Did you get my voice message? Just on the pronunciation. That way? Yeah, that way. This way. Yeah, glad your knee's healing up, mate. Long process, unfortunately. Excuse me. Lewis, I've been subscribed to Ben's channel. Oh, lovely. Thank you for the tip. Also, have you been to Rostov-on-Don? My wife is from Bulgaria. Southern Russia looks very similar to the Black Sea coast in Bulgaria. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been to Rostov-on-Don. Haven't gone that way yet. I've gone south towards Sochi. And I've gone inland towards Krasnodar, which is lovely, by the way. Wait for the wife to catch up. She's doing a balloon thing. Come on, honey, keep up. I'm not even walking fast today. I had a nice conversation. Oh, you're chatting with yourself again? Yeah. Did you win? Yeah. Good argument? Yeah. You put your point across very well. Yeah. Mm. Don't know if you guys do that. Maybe it's a sign of madness, but we both do it. Talk to ourselves. Especially if we want to do something around the house, modify it in some way. We have that discussion with ourselves. It's easier that way. Oh, car, honey. That one, I'd like to say it's in mid-build, but it's been like that for a while. Big piece of ground again. Oh, bless it. There's an old Merc in there, look. So what's coming on the channel? Well, we've got part 2 of temporary residency. Part 1 already uploaded. That's the documents. If you're looking to move to Russia from the UK, I'll just go through the documents, what you're going to need. And if you are looking to do that, please join the Telegram group and ask any questions that you may have. That's quite interesting. Mid-build. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so that's up already, part 1. And we've got part 2 and part 3 to come from that. I'm a driving video, but filmed in landscape, especially for you, Irving. That's filmed in landscape. Uh, what else? Need to get down to the coast. We're going to Krasnodar again soon, so we'll do some more filming from there. Paul Griffith. This is Krasnodar. No, it's definitely not. So Krasnodar is a city of about 1.2 million. This is a little rural village of about 25,000. But the region is called Krasnodarsky Krai. That may be where the confusion lies. What would I say the temperature is? Well, 14 degrees. I know that, it says it on my phone. It's 14 degrees today. Very warm and pleasant. I could be walking along here in a t-shirt quite happily. Adam Reason. No rhyme or reason, is there? What's it like living in a communist? Honestly, Adam, I don't know. I never lived in one. I mean, the closest I came really is the UK, I guess. Apart from that, I really wouldn't know. So why don't you stop being a dick, trying to be clever? Why don't you join the Telegram group and ask some questions and educate yourself instead of spouting out rubbish, mainstream media rubbish, because you just make yourself look like a muppet. Nobody is looking at you going, "Oh wow, brilliant comment." Nobody's looking at that and going, "Wow, he's an intellectual." Whether it's live now or in the rerun when people watch this back, which they do, they can look at your comment and just think, "Dick." So to save yourself being a dick, why don't you join my Telegram group and have a conversation, proper one, and ask real questions, not just repeat some Daily Telegraph mainstream narrative. It's always good to educate yourself, especially when you're delusional. Yeah, Adam, sorry, I'm long in the tooth and I'm well aware of the loaded questions, mate. I've seen them a million times. There's nothing new there in that approach. So, good luck. If you wish, vlog the houses near the Kuban River. Not sure where that is, to be honest. And the trouble is, Russia's a big place. So, sorry, Paul, it might be a long way from me. Oh, Adam, look at you. Here we go. How many political parties are there? I don't know, half a dozen maybe? 4, 5? Not sure. Do your research, mate. Not a political channel. It's a Life in Russia channel. If you want to converse with people of a similar IQ level, I suggest you pop to the zoo, mate. Have a look in the enclosure. Christmas, you look. Some doggies catching the sunshine. Oh, Adam's going to go on a rant now. Look at him. Here he goes. He's going to thrash away at his keyboard. Judge all you like and call the names right. That's enough of you then, because you're a knob. Goodbye. And gone. Bye-bye, Adam. You absolute clown. I just can't be bothered. You know, I used to try and have a conversation with idiots like that for half an hour and try and explain to them and educate them. Now I just can't be bothered because if somebody's 3 years into all this crap, well, that's a lot longer than that, but you know, from most people's perspective in the West, 3 years in, if you're 3 years into all this nonsense and you're still believing the mainstream media narrative and you're still asking questions like that, you're gone. You are not savable. And I ain't going to try and save you. Can't be bothered. Better things to do in my life, like enjoy it. So, yeah, I haven't got any tolerance for it anymore, I'm afraid. I know it seems grumpy. I am probably grumpy. But Can't be bothered listening to rubbish. People coming on and making a political statement that they've read in the Daily Telegraph. Anyhow, I went on another rant, didn't I? On a rant every now and again. It's good to rant. It's good to vent. Skilled folder, Privyat. What the city this is. So this is a little village, not a city, tiny little village outside of Anapa, about 15 minutes outside of Napa on the Black Sea coast. Right. Kuban River is in Krasnodar region. Okay, Paul. Again, I'm not going to be flippant, so please don't think I'm trying to be flippant, but I'll just tell you. Krasnodar region is about 76,000 square kilometres. So to put that in perspective, if you live in the UK, England fits into Krasnodar region. So it might not be just up the road, mate. I can look on the map, but it may not be. Based on the fact that nobody's told me about the Kuban River near here, I'm guessing it's not near us. We tend to head to the beach when we want water. Pension news: half a dozen in Russia, one political party in the West. Yeah, exactly. What a stupid! I can't be doing with people like that. It's just brain dead, aren't they? They're too far gone. You can't help them. You know, they run around in their little gang of fellow muppets, and they watch the news for 10 minutes every night coming out of their TV box, and they think they're educated, and they try and be intellectuals, and they're not intellectuals at all. They're just muppets, and they just regurgitate crap. And anybody with a brain wouldn't do that. Nobody will regurgitate nonsense. And unless you've actually been somewhere yourself or got personal experience, how can you form an opinion? Your opinion is flawed. It's always going to be flawed because it's based on one side of a narrative. So how can that be any use to anything? My left toe is right. This guy Sergey also vlogs from Sochi, but in Russian language. But his live streams are good. Okay. Well, Ven is actually fluent in Russian. He's half redneck and half Russian. So he quite often does a lot in Russian. James Harrison, what political parties in Russia? Pension News Channel. Liberal Democrats. Lol. Oh dear. Rubbish is right, love. Okay. Alex, hello everyone and Happy New Year. Thank you, Alex. Is that the very first live cast this year or did I miss any? Oh, is this my first live stream? This is my first walk and talk live stream. Yeah, I did do a driving one, I think. You're going in the shop, honey. Okay. I'm going to sit here out of the sun because it's too hot. I'm not joking, I am hot. Certain rants, Krasnodar Cry. My father's family is from Zaporozhye. Okay. Zaporozhye. Paul Griffith. My brother studied in Moscow University and Adjiev. Okay, Republic. It's inside Krasnodar. Yes, it's south from us. Very, very pretty. One of the guys that subscribes to my channel comes from that region. He's invited me to go down there, and I will definitely take him up on that one day because it looks absolutely beautiful. Really beautiful. I will go down and go out for dinner with him one day. Ian G. UK happily accepts the indoctrination of the billionaire-owned press and media who divert attention from hatred to criticism of foreigners and other countries. Amazing how naive we are in the UK. There you go. That's an intellectual. That's an intellectual statement. That's what we want. We don't want the Phils waving their flags or the other clown. Can't remember his name now because he's a distant memory. But we want people with brains. Blimey, bedtime in Britanskaya, Columbia Oblast. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Russia's a big place. 11 time zones across Russia. 11. It's a big country. Do it. How warm is it? It's 14 degrees at the moment. I've been wandering about for a while, so I'm pretty hot. Well, I'm always hot, to be fair. Comment I've had many times in my life. But yeah, this is the centre of our village where I started. So we've been on an hour and 40-minute wander. Started just over there. Went all around the little back street. Well, not all the back streets, just some of the back streets, just to show you off the beaten track. And now we're looking at centre of the village life. My wife's just gone shopping. I don't know where she's gone. It's always a worry when women go into shops, isn't it? I think it is. You ladies love to spend. And I know it's usually buying food to feed us idiots, but, you know. 1862, that cannon. Dear, oh dear. And that one is also 1862. It was a different time and place, wasn't it? Wow. Oh wow, I have followed that guy Ven now. Thank you. I'll wait for his streams. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. Um, so yeah, please look at his channel. Please subscribe to Ven's channel. Should have a lot more subscribers than it does. But Ven's a little bit like me in the fact that he doesn't care. So he's just living his life. He films stuff, he uploads it to YouTube, and if people watch it, it's great. And if they interact with him, that's also great. But if they don't, hey, everybody's got their own priorities in life. And we're not slick like the glossy ones. I mean, Ven does a bit of editing, to be fair. He makes me look a little bit backward. But so I just don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that path of being edited and glossy, and you know, I don't know. It's just my personal opinion. I just think it looks really contrived and false. I much prefer to see something raw and basic, even if it is a bit like this, a bit wobbly. I don't like all of this chopping around and edited crap, because yeah, you know, that's half the problems we've got in the world, just because the reality is edited. Let's face it, it's exactly what mainstream media is, isn't it? Takes the reality and edits it, and gives you a version. I don't like that. I'd much rather you make your own mind up. I'll turn the camera on, I'll point you at the stuff, you can ask questions, and you can make your own mind up. You haven't been steered into anything. Vorvi Zakoni. I'm off to bed. One love, mate. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Karen Kurtz. Oh, wow. This is what I love to see, the history in those cannons and that tower. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So 1880 to 1938 and 1882 to 1922. Not sure what that commemorates. Because A, I'm thick, and B, I can't read Russian. I can, sort of. I'm learning. Speaking of which, want to learn Russian, join my Telegram group or click on my homepage on YouTube. There's a lovely lady that's on our channel called Oksana that does online lessons. We'll be bringing you something new soon. You can join me for an online Russian lesson. So keep an eye out for that. And there you go, Second World War commemoration of the dead. Paul Griffith, if you want to learn Russian, do you have any advice? Paul, I absolutely do. Join my Telegram group. Don't be afraid of Telegram. If you're not in Telegram already, don't believe the horror stories. It's all, like most things, a load of rubbish. It's a really good resource. Very, very widely used. Don't believe the nonsense. But if you are on Telegram, you already know that anyway. But join my Telegram group, The Plastic Russian. And one of my administrators in there is called Oksana. And if you just type into the group chat, you're interested in learning Russian, Oksana has got an online face-to-face platform. Kind of sounds a little incorrect, doesn't it? But you understand what I mean. It's a video chat. It's not Zoom. It's just a web link. So you can do it on your phone, on your PC, on your tablet, and you can do it anywhere. If you're traveling on a train, you've got signal, you can do it on your phone there. And she does online lessons, and it's really interactive and extremely good. She's fully qualified English teacher, fully qualified Russian teacher, was a former translator, and she speaks better English like what I does. So yeah, have a look and post a message, and if Oksana doesn't reply, I'll just forward it to her and then she'll reply to you, and you can try it out. Members of my Telegram chat get the first lesson free, so you can try it out, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I don't know anybody that's discovered it's not for them. So yes, that's my advice. Have a look at that, Paul. What have you got to lose? First lesson's free. Got nothing to lose, have you? And there's no software to download or anything at all. You just got a web link. You just click on it and join the conversation. So brilliant resource she's got. Really good. And she's very good. Karen Kurtz. What year was that tower? It looked like 1890. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it. I'm 100 metres away now and I'm going the wrong direction. Sorry, Karen. Ripped soldiers. Yeah, indeed. In your opinion, do you support the war of aggression on Ukraine? Oh. Oh dear, I've got to laugh. Look, honey. In your opinion, do you support the war of aggression on Ukraine? Half-eaten mushroom. I'll tell you what, your name is perfect.
Do he support?
Well, it might be a she. You can't say that, honey. This is a wokeism.
Aggression to Russia.
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Do you, he, she, support the aggression towards Russia? Currently got what? 32 countries? Don't tell me now. Coming to the defence of the Democratic Republic of Ukraine. You watch too much TV, old son. If you are a son, you might be a girl. Well, to be honest, if you are a Western wokie, you could be anything. Out here, you would be male or female, but of course, in Western wokie land, you could be anything. But there we go. Yeah, I've got zero time for people like that, I'm afraid. Sorry, half-eaten mushroom. I'm guessing you've named your name after your brain capacity. So let's get rid of you because I just can't be bothered with that. And gone. Oh, okay, honey. You want to put something in the car? Right. We're back at the mighty Havar. It's opening up. What a thing that is. I'm going to do a review of that soon. It's freaking brilliant, that car. Absolutely epic. It's our new steed. Chinese Land Cruiser, basically. Um, uh, my left toe. It's not a war of aggression. It is because Ukraine is the dumb daughter who decided to be prostitute. Interesting perspective. Irvin, I had a laugh with you. Good one. Thank you. Yeah, you know me, mate. I think you know me by now. I'm happy to converse with anyone, but when they come with a loaded load of nonsense like that, I just can't even waste my time because they're too far gone. You're not gonna, what's the point in talking to people like that? You're not gonna enlighten them. They're too far gone. They're too bent out of shape. They've watched the mainstream media for far too long. You're not going to save them. There's no point in saving them. Society doesn't need people like that. Society needs people that are capable of critical thought, not people that all they can do is regurgitate what they've seen on their telly box. My left toe. And Mother Russia is slapping sense into her. Pension news. Mushroom by name. Yeah. Trying to sell something. Yeah. Probably mushroom fodder. You know what they say about mushrooms, don't you? Kept in the dark and fed on bullshit. Paul Griffith. I'm from Iraq. I'm very informed about the world. I have Telegram. I'm not washed mind by news because I live with what narrative West picture. Yeah, it's right. Absolutely. Price until this moment. Yeah. Brilliant. Paul, join my Telegram. Wait for me lesson. Oksana's going to kill me. Right, I've got to go, guys. I've just got a notification telling me I've got 10 minutes to get home. So I'm going to get told off for being late for my lesson. Karen Kurtz, I'm dying laughing here. Yeah, I'm a sarcastic fucker. Sorry. Yeah, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Guys, thank you very much for joining my little wander this morning. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sharing is caring. Please join the Telegram group and get involved with the chat. And if you've got any questions, there's lots of really good people in there that can answer them for you. But for today, I'm going to have to bounce. Again, yes. Yes, Irvin, again. I'm a delusional idiot and I forget everything. Oh, not a delusional idiot. That's not a strong word. I'm just an idiot. Yeah, I forget everything, mate. Be careful going home. Love a bit of sarcasm. Well, I'm a Brit. I'm a sarcastic Brit, which makes me the most sarcastic person on the planet, probably. Anyhow, thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.